concentrating in on verse 10. We're going to look at the whole chapter, but concentrating in on verse 10, he says, be still and know that I am God. He says, I will be exalted among the nations, I will be exalted in the earth. But what I want to call your attention to is where he said, be still. Somebody say, be still. The subject tonight is pause for the cause. Turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, say, I don't know what you had on your mind. So, but right now, we're going to praise the Lord. Say, neighbor, say, pause for the cause. I found here as I was reading this chapter that there are quite a few things that make people be still. I found that sometimes God has to take one of our loved ones and cause a funeral to happen in order for us to be still. I went to a funeral a few weeks ago, and as we lined up in front of the house, I saw something beginning to happen. I saw everybody beginning to be still. As we began to roll down the road, I saw the car starting to pull over to the side. I saw everybody starting to be still. But see, sometimes God has to take something that you love in order to make you be still. We rode on a little bit further and got to the red light. And then when we got to the red light, the sheriff said, y'all come on through. And everybody on this side, even though the light was green, they were still being, somebody don't hit me up in here. So we rolled on a little bit further and got to the church, and everybody was standing outside the door. What they were doing was pausing for the cause. They were being still and knowing that he was God. But see, it shouldn't take God to take one of our loved ones away from us in order for us to be still and know that he is God. I found that we will also pause for the singing of the national anthem. We will be still. We will also pause when we dive into water. We will pause from breathing to keep from getting water in our lungs, but because we feel like we get too much water in there, it might drown us. But when we dive in the water, we pause for the cause. I said all that to say this: it don't matter if you dive in the water, you're going to a funeral, or they sing the national anthem. God is the one who's keeping the one alive who's singing the song. So you need to be still for God. God is keeping you alive while you're diving in the water, so you need to be still for God. Just tell yourself, I got to be still. Ecclesiastes 1:9 says that that which has been is what will be. That which is done is what will be done. And there is nothing new under the sun. So what I'm saying is all this stuff you're being still for, it ain't nothing new. But God has to keep on repeating his mission over and over and over and over in order to get somebody's attention. He got to send a storm and shut the lights down in order to get your attention. He got to turn the water off in order to get your attention. Then the first thing we holler out is, Lord have mercy, I ain't got no water and no lights, I can't even take a bath. But what you are doing is pausing for the cause. Somebody gonna talk to me here in a minute. I found out that we can be watching a movie on television. It can be so good to us. And we have to use the bathroom. He calls your water to come down. You say, baby, pause that movie while I run to the bathroom. What you're doing is pausing for the wrong cause. All he wants you to do is be still and know that he is God. And this will bring us to our first point, and that is, be still in his will. Look there in Psalms 46 and 10:8. It says, simply be still. Psalms, this is letting us know that we need to pause for the cause. Look back there at verse 1 with me, if you will. It gives us a good spiritual reason why we should be still in his will. Let's read that together. It says, God is our refuge. Webster defines refuge as a place or sometimes a person offering protection from something. Somebody came in this room tonight singing financial refuge. Somebody came in here seeking refuge from a husband that don't know how to treat them. Somebody came in here seeking refuge from a bully at school. But I tell you that you're in the right place to Somebody say, Satan, you might as well pause for the cause. Because you was a lie and the truth ain't in you. So everybody told us over there in Genesis, we got to bruise his head with our heel. See, he tried to get in our business right there, but I'm going to bruise his head with my heel. See, he messed up some things over there in Genesis for Adam and Eve. Let me get out of Genesis and get back in Psalms. The truth of the matter is, everybody in here needs some form of spiritual refuge or another. And in order to receive that refuge, all you have to do is be still in his will. I want to call up some witnesses who were dealing with some stuff that you're probably dealing with, and they had to be still in his will. I'm going to go back over to Genesis for a minute. That might be why he got in our business. Come here, Joseph. Don't y'all remember when Joseph's daddy gave him a jacket of many colors, a beautiful robe, and his family members started to hate on him, as the kids say. They became player haters because he was playing a game for God, and they began to hate on him. See, Joseph had to deal with some mess that some of y'all probably dealing with in here right now. He had to deal with his own family not knowing how to treat him. But I stopped by here to tell somebody that sometimes your family are the worst ones when it comes to doing what thus says the Lord. Somebody gonna pray with me here in a minute. The same ones you love, my wife told y'all a little while ago, the same ones that I loved when God called me into the ministry, those were the same ones that had me put over in Whitfield. They said you need to go over there for a little while because you got to be crazy, because you can't preach a gospel you don't know nothing about. You only go to church on Easter Sunday. But I want to tell y'all, one Monday morning, the Lord came into my life and he began to change some things. And the things I used to do, I just couldn't do no more. The places I used to go, I couldn't go no more. What I'm trying to tell you is that at that point I had been changed. But see, the Bible says that the spirit is willing but the flesh is weak. See, my flesh had begun to get weaker. The spirit had started to grow, but they couldn't understand because they said, nah, he acting strange. But that was a good strange. And then they jumped on the telephone. Look at here, y'all. Jason is crazy. He has lost his mind. We got to get him put somewhere. But I stopped by here to tell you something, that God is not the author of confusion. Therefore, that means when they made a phone call, I'm going to invite some of y'all in here, because this ain't about Jason. When they make the phone call talking about you done lost your mind, I stopped by here to tell you, you're just losing your flesh. You let your flesh continue to die, because one of these days, y'all hold on for a minute, everything gonna be alright. So you can't get to me on this telephone, because it don't mean nothing to me, because God is not the author of confusion. And they told us in the reading that if God be for you, then who can be against you? I gotta talk to you later. I got some preaching to do. So at that point I was like Joseph. Even though they threw me down in a pit, I wouldn't let nothing separate me from the love of God. See, because when Joseph went in that pit, it didn't have no water in it. That means that God was already working. They took him up and sold him to the Ishmaelites. They took him over and gave him to Potiphar. Well, at the end of the day, he ended up being blessed. And the same one that they sold out and hated on was the one that had to feed them so they wouldn't die. What I'm trying to tell you is the same one that my family sold out and hated on is the same one that's going to have to spiritually feed them so their spirit and their soul will not die. See, sometimes God has to call somebody in the household. Y'all remember when he called Sarah?